Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Crystal Beast deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that can make some absolutely incredible fields, especially with all the spicy tech cards I've included in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name scratched from every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus is the best summon in the entire deck, because this card has an awesome ability. When this card is summoned out to your side of the field, you can place a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in the spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card, which is an awesome ability to instantly get the exact Crystal Beast monster you need in the back row. All your Crystal Beast monsters also share a common effect, that if this face up card is destroyed while in the monster zone, you can place this card face up in the spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card instead of sending it to the graveyard, which is an awesome ability to be able to get your Crystal Beast into the back row so we can go in for some awesome plays. We then play a single copy of Amber Mammoth. Amber Mammoth is a really good one-up for our combos in this deck, and it's just a really cool card overall. We then play a single copy of Topaz Tiger. This card is a pretty cool ability. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 400 attack points during damage calculation. We then play a single copy of Cobalt Eagle. Cobalt Eagle is pretty helpful in the deck because it has the ability you can actually target a face-up Crystal Beast card that you control and return it back to the top of the deck, which can be pretty helpful in this deck. We can then play a single copy of Amethyst Cat. This card can actually come up in time because this card can attack directly, but it only does half damage, so it will do 600 points of damage to your opponent when it does attack directly, but that can come up in time and can be pretty helpful. We then play a single copy of Emerald Tortoise. Emerald Tortoise is great just to be able to play the name in the deck for our combos. We then play a single copy of Ruby Carbuncle. Ruby Carbuncle is one of the most broken cards in the entire deck, with a crazy powerful effect that when this card is special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beast cards as possible from your spell and trap card zone to your side of the field, so we can summon out a bunch of Crystal Beast monsters to our side of the field to help us go in for game. This card is amazing in the deck, but you only need a single copy of each of the other Crystal Beast names in the deck because they're so easy to get to. We then play 2 copies of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon is really cool, basically as the 8th Crystal Beast name in the deck, and it's really helpful in the build, as if this face-up card is destroyed in the monster zone, you can place this card in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard, just like all of your other Crystal Beast cards. But this card is a really cool ability that when an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can also banish this card, treat it as a continuous spell to be able to special summon a level 4 or lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but its effects are negated. This card is really cool to be able to play in the back row with the effect of Sapphire Pegasus when you summon it out to your side of the field to be able to get the exact card that you need, because this card also searches a copy of an ultimate crystal monster off its last effect when you use that ability, which is such a cool ability to instantly get to a copy of a Rainbow Dragon off the effect of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. This card is really cool to be able to play in the deck as a combo, and I really feel like you do need 2 copies in the build to be able to use in this deck for all your combos. This card is amazing, it's super nostalgic, it's easy to summon out to your side of the field, and it's a 4,000 attack point boss monster. We're then playing a single copy of Nemesis Flag and a single copy of Nemesis Corridor. These cards are really cool to be able to play in the deck, so we can step into Thunder, Dragon, Colossus, and it's amazing to be able to summon them out to your side of the field because your copy of Banshee in the X deck that we can make for any 2 level 4s, which is going to be our copies of Sapphire Pegasus usually, can make a copy of Banshee and then search out your copy of Flag, and then normal summon out your copy of Flag to your side of the field or return a banished card back to your deck to be able to instantly summon out your copy of Flag, search out Corridor, summon out Corridor with its ability, and then step into Thunder, Dragon, Colossus, which is absolutely amazing. I love being able to step into Colossus in the deck, especially since we play Cross Sheep in the X deck, giving us another fusion monster we can make in this build. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good as a 1-of in the deck just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is amazing because we can summon out Millennium Eyes Restrict to our side of the field to basically have an additional copy of Called by the Grave. We then play 2 copies of Crystal Beacon. Crystal Beacon is amazing as a 2-of in the build, and I have bumped this card up to 2, and it's really helpful to let you special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck. But you must have 2 or more Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap card zone to activate and resolve this ability, but it's amazing to instantly get the exact Crystal Beast name to your side of the field that you need, or a missing piece to go in for your combos. We then play 2 copies of an extremely spicy tech card that I'm actually going to lay face down, and we're going to play Guess That Card. This card is an amazing 2-of spicy tech card in this build that's really cool to be able to play in the deck, and it's just a really awesome card. So, we're going to reveal this card in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and hit that bell next to become part of Notification Squad because we're on the road to 100K subscribers, and we're almost there, so every subscriber counts. So let's go ahead and check out what this really spicy tech card is, and it's actually going to be 2 copies of a card you usually do not see in Crystal Beast decks, and it's actually going to be 2 copies of Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. Did you guys get that right down in the comment? This card is absolutely amazing in this deck for its 3 effects. This card gains effects based on the number of Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap card zone. If you have 1 in your back row, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. You have 2, once per turn, you can half the battle damage that you take. If you have 3, you can actually send a Crystal Beast monster that you control to the graveyard to negate the activation of a spell or trap card and destroy it, which is the main effect we look for on this card. Or 4, once per turn, during the main phase, you can actually draw a card, and if you have 5, once per turn, during your main phase, you can special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your spell and trap card zone, which is a really cool ability, especially to use with your copy of Ruby Carbuncle to instantly get one of your monsters out on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. Goods is good. This card is amazing in the deck because it's actually how we search our copy of Ancient City Rainbow Ruin by sending our copy of Rainbow Bridge of Salvation from our deck to the graveyard to be able to search out a Crystal Beast monster and to be able to search out Rainbow Ruin, which is amazing to be able to do with our copy of Foolish Burial Goods. We then play 3 copies of Crystal Bond. Crystal Bond is one of the most powerful spell cards in the entire deck, letting us add a Crystal Beast monster from our deck to our hand, then placing a Crystal Beast monster with a different name from our deck face up in the spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card. This is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. We then play 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card lets us add a Crystal Spell Trap from our deck to our hand. We then play 3 copies of Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card lets us reveal an ultimate crystal monster in our hand, which is Rainbow Dragon, to activate one of these effects. And if you control an ultimate crystal monster, you can activate 1 or 2 of these effects in sequence instead. So being able to choose, which is a really cool effect. This card lets you take a Rainbow Bridge card or a Rainbow Refraction from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard, or it lets you special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or grave, or your spell and trap card zone to your side of the field, which is absolutely broken. We then play 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. This card is absolutely one of the most broken cards in the entire deck besides Crystal Bond. This card is during your main phase, you can normal summon a Crystal Beast monster in addition to your normal summon or set, which your copy of Sapphire Pegasus is not a once per turn, it just lets you do it every time you summon it, which is absolutely insane. This card also has the ability that during your main phase, you can destroy a Crystal Beast card that you control or in your hand, and if you do, add a Crystal Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, even during the damage step, you can target one card your opponent controls and place both that card and this card back into the hand, which is a really cool effect to be able to use with this card's ability. We then play 3 copies of Golden Rule. Golden Rule is amazing as a 3-of in the deck because this card has the ability to always treat as a crystal card and lets you place 2 Crystal Beast monsters from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as continuous spells. Then you get to special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different name than those cards, and if you do, equip this card to that card. And when this card leaves the field, destroy that monster, but you can only activate one of this card per turn. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build because you can activate this card when you have no monsters on your side of the field to instantly summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand and also get 2 more in the back row, which is absolutely broken. This card helps you out so much and is a great starter in the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck because it has a really cool ability that you can banish this card from the graveyard to add a Crystal Beast monster and a field spell from your deck to the hand, which is the main effect we're going to be using on this card to instantly get to our copy of Ancient City Rainbow Ruin and a copy of Sapphire Pegasus. We then play a single copy of Crystal Miracle. Crystal Miracle is just an awesome counter trap to be able to play in the deck that when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, destroy a Crystal Beast card that you control, and if you do negate the activation, do that, destroy that card. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone while this card is in the graveyard, even during the damage step, you can manage this card to be able to place a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone. It's a continuous spell, giving you an additional Crystal Beast, which is super cool. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. That still sounds like a JoJo stand name to me. This card is amazing and actually pretty easy to summon in this deck. This card has the ability, it must be special summoned from your extra deck during a duel that you special summon an ultimate crystal monster by banishing the above monsters from your field or graveyard, which is a really cool effect because all you have to do is banish your copy of an ultimate crystal monster, which is a rainbow dragon, plus 7 crystal beast monsters, which is pretty easy to actually do in this deck. And this card also has the ability that when this card is on your side of the field and you have 7 or more Crystal Beasts or 7 or more Crystal Beast monsters with different names that are banished, this card gains 7,000 attack points, boosting this card to 11,000 to be able to OTK your opponent. This card is absolutely broken and a really cool boss monster to be able to OTK. It also has, if this card is not battled this turn, quick effect, you can actually tribute this card and then shuffle as many cards on the field as possible in the deck, and if you do, special summon that many of your banished Crystal Beast monsters to your side of the field, which is insane to be able to swarm the board with your Crystal Beast monsters. We then play a single copy of Rainbow Overdragon. This card is really easy to summon out to your side of the field, and it's just a really cool card to be able to tribute your copy of your Rainbow Dragon to summon out this card directly from your extract, which is very easy to do. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Colossus. Thunder Dragon Colossus is also very easy to summon in this build with your copy of Flag being able to summon itself to your side of the field, then searching your copy of Corridor, and then Corridor summoning itself from your hand, and then tributing Corridor to summon out this card, which is basically a walking mistake, which is absolutely crazy. And then play a single copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict. Millennium Eyes Restrict is basically another copy of Called by the Grave in the deck because it's very easy to summon out to your side of the field with instant fusion and negates monster effects. We then play a single copy of Bagooska. Bagooska is great to be able to throw on your side of the field to basically just wait a turn and slow down the game. We then play a single copy of Infernal Flame Banshee. Banshee is how we search out our copy of Nemesis Flag from our deck to our hand, which is easy to be able to step into our copy of Thunder Dragon Colossus from those plays. This card is really easy to summon out to our side of the field. Being generic is just really insane. We then play a single copy of Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller just shuts down the graveyard, which is really cool to be able to do. One copy of Number 60 to double the attack of a monster, draw 2 and discard a card, or bring a monster back from the graveyard, which is just such a cool ability. We then play a single copy of Zeus. Zeus is a really good board wipe in the deck to be able to summon on top of any of our XZ monsters. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is really good to be able to make in the deck to give us multiple monster negates on our side of the field because it's very easy to swarm the board in this deck. We then play a single copy of Skull Dread. Skull Dread is really good to be able to make because we can draw 4 and then put 3 back, special summon a monster from our hand, and every monster this card summoned to the zone this card points to gains 300 attack and defense points, which is really cool, but being able to use this card for consistency is really nice. We then play a single copy of Zelantis to reset our copies of Sapphire Pegasus, because when they're summoned back to our side of the field, they all go off again, which is super cool because they're not once per turn, because they're such old cards that they're not once per turn. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. You could play Nightmare Unicorn if you want to instead of this card as a more budget option, but this card is really good because it's a double interruption. We then play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep's amazing to be able to make in the deck because we play so many different fusion monsters in the deck, and this card helps us bring back our monsters in the graveyard like Sapphire Pegasus. We then play a single copy of Cherubini. Cherubini is really good in the deck to be able to use for our combos to step into our ultimate crystal monster, which is such a cool ability. This card is really good in the deck just as a 1-up to help us send the last crystal beast monster we needed to the graveyard, so we can summon out Rainbow Dragon and its fusion monsters. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Crystal Beast before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's really fun to be able to play, and it's absolutely crazy the amount of combos you can pull off in this deck. And it's crazy the boards that you can actually make. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.